Hey guys, Lucas Smith here. I'm here with Gary. Yahoo!
Hello, hello,
Hey my
hello.
hey my friend. We're doing our weekly show, and this week I think we're going to talk about something really interesting. What are we going to talk about, Gary? Tell us.
Well, we're in California. What happened in the last past week in California? The fires.
We had lots of fires. We had lots of fires,
Yes.
and Gary, I've had lots and lots of customers come to me and ask me, Lucas, is this going to cause a crash in the LA real estate market because of the loss of inventory?
That's an interesting question. And, I heard about that too. Let me put you this, let me phrase it up for you, Lucas. What I heard is that California is going to crash because we have a lot of people are going to be leaving the state due to this situation. A lot of these homeowners are misplaced, and because they have nowhere to go, well, they have to move somewhere else. So they're going to move possibly out of state. A lot of these homeowners also have been owning these houses for a long time, 30, 40 years. They have enough equity. So once they cash out, they're going away. That's one.
So let's look at total numbers, Gare. Just
Yeah.
just devil's advocate, right?
Sure.
So I did a little quick research. I use this super tool called Google, right?
Okay.
And it told me that approximately 12,000 homes were lost during the fires. Does that number sound about right to you?
Sound about right. That's a lot, though. Well, yeah,
It's a
sounds about
lot,
right.
huge number.
Yeah.
It's terrible and it's
12,000.
devastating. Absolutely. But
Mm-hmm.
12,000 homes
Yes.
in LA County,
Mm-hmm.
there is 1.889 million homes for sale, almost
Okay.
2 million single family residences. So, out of those almost 2 million single family residences, if we take 12,000, the total percentage of homes that we lost was just over half a percent, about 0.6% of the total inventory that was lost.
Okay. Look at it that way, it may not make the needle move as much, and yet we have to consider this though. These houses were burned that were not in the outskirts that we usually get. Like every year under the summertime, we get fires in the mountains, right? Where it's in the
Mhm.
outskirts, federal land reserve, things like that, right? But this time it's different. It burned in the middle of cities, and the damages were counting the last yesterday. I was looking at it. The damages were ranging from 135 billion to 150 billion in damages. That and that can cause a lot of insurance companies to go out of business if they have to pay it off.
Well, now we can talk a little bit about insurance companies in California, Gary. Do you know who the largest home insurance company in California currently is?
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
It's the state of California.
No way.
Yes. We've all heard rumors about insurance companies leaving and
Hmm.
getting out of the state. And I talked to my insurance guy about that, and I asked him, I said, what happened, right? How come we're having like State Farm and all these big insurance companies leaving the state?
Right.
And he said, Lucas, it's really, really simple. He said during COVID, one of the measures that the state of California put in place was that insurance companies cannot raise premiums for the entirety of the time of COVID.
Okay, like
And
a freeze in place.
they froze premium increases for 2 full years.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
Once COVID ended, the insurance companies came back and said, well, now we've been 2 years behind. We need to catch up to market rates. And the state of
Okay.
California said, no, you're not allowed to raise them that
Oh,
much. And that's why the state
oh.
farms of the world have been pulling out of California because the numbers didn't make sense anymore. It's no
Mm.
longer economically viable for them to do business in California. So, California, the state of California, instituted their program
Hmm.
to offer insurance for those who could not get insurance through other means. And
Yeah.
they've become the largest insurer, especially in these high risk, high fire areas.
Okay, so Lucas, let me add this to what you explained then. Wouldn't that feel to the idea that it's going to crash California if the government is the one who has to fork the bill of, let's say, 150,000 billion? Oh, the state.
Well, and that could break the economy of California. Absolutely.
Yeah,
It could bankrupt California
yeah.
100%. Is it going to cause a housing crash? I don't know. I don't think so. But could it bankrupt the state? Maybe.
What's the difference?
What's the difference between the state being bankrupt and the housing market being bankrupt?
Let me give you my idea, and then you can correct me. Let's look
Sure.
at because the state needs to collect taxes, and one way that we collect taxes is through real estate. Now,
Hmm.
I'm thinking about Detroit, right? They have Ford and what's it called? The other motor vehicle that were big over there in the 60s,
Yeah, the big
50s and
three,
60s.
Ford, Chrysler, and GMC. Or
There
yeah.
you go. Right. And they went back, and the city, well, the state pretty much went down. The city went bankrupt with it when everything down and people start moving out of the state, right? What makes the real estate valuable is the people. So if enough people start migrating out of the state, then it's going to crash. Now, I don't foresee that here in California, but let's play along for that scenario where, well, if if the state of California cannot insure your house, right? Because they still paying premium or paying back for the houses that are burned. I, as a homeowner, might not be that inclined to move to California if I cannot insure my house. Like, come on, like really? We
Well, you might
have
not, right?
right?
But most people aren't taking that into consideration when they're making the move to California. And California is still the number one state for inbound traffic,
Yes, there's so much opportunity here.
right? Well, I don't know about opportunity. I think it's the weather, really, but you know.
Sure. You have to pay for that weather though. So, and what about all those small businesses that support this influx of people? I'm not talking about like grocery store or convenience store. No, I'm talking about the startups. We are the vanguard of technology.
Mhm.
So, if these areas are prone to fires, wouldn't you think that would deter investors to put open shop in California, in LA?
Well, for years, historically, California has not been a business friendly climate. And I don't think we're going to see California being a business friendly climate anytime soon.
And yet
Right.
we have so many people opening here.
I know, I know. Well, it's because of the populace, right? So,
Yeah,
long and the short of it, is it going to cause a housing market crash in California? I don't think so. I don't think the numbers are significant enough.
I
Could
don't
it
see it either.
potentially cause the state to go bankrupt? We'll see. If that happens, I feel comfortable and confident that the state would probably get a federal bailout.
Yeah.
Too big to fail,
We are the state that is too big to fail. That's true.
right?
So
Um,
for better or worse, we're going to get bailout
yeah.
if
So
if if we come to that.
if that happened, I think that that's what they would do. I think that the federal government would step in and bail the state out, and probably under some binding restrictions, right? Especially with the Trump administration in charge, they would come in and they would say, "Well, we'll give you the money, but."
Who
So
knows, right?
who knows?
But
Who knows? All speculation at this point in time.
yeah, I will say that with a certain amount of certainty is that we are not going to have a crash.
No.
I don't see it. 0.6% houses were burned. Very unfortunate, but it's not enough to move the needle where we have more sellers than buyers. It's not going to be a buyer's market in which you can pick up deals. And the conspiracy theories were, oh, these big trust funds are going to come here and pick up this land for cheap, pennies on dollars, like supposedly did in Hawaii.
Again, those
I,
people still own that land, right?
yeah, you
And
don't have.
most of them, I think, were in a financial position where they don't have to sell right away. I think that they're able to go um,
They
do
can
other
wait.
things, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Not that I would wish anything bad to ever happen on anybody, right?
right.
But we know that when you're more affluent and have more means, if things happen, you're more able to deal with those things in an easier fashion, right?
That's true.
Um, as tragic and as horrid as it is. So yeah, I agree. I don't think it's going to cause a real estate crash. We're yet to see the financial implications for the state. We'll just hang on and see and kind of write it out, right?
True, true. So, Lucas, our time is up. But if people want to get a hold of you, how can they contact you?
Gary, they can always call me 714-356-7142 or just go to sellmyhomerealestate.com. I'm easy to find. How about you, Gary? How would people find you?
For me, it's easy. All I have to do is go and Google search Gary Yao. Hashtag Gary Yao.
Yeah, but you're saying it right. It's Yao!
Gary Yao, baby. All right, Lucas, thank you for this time.
Thank you, brother.
Talk to you soon.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.